Hello and welcome to Polloi Two, and it's an unboxing video again today because I've got a few things here that have just arrived and some things that I've picked up myself over the last few weeks, and I thought it'd be fun to open them all up on camera. So the first things are actually some things I picked up on a recent trip to Germany to visit some good old friends of mine. My friend Kimmy runs a shop there called SK Game-natics, and while looking through his shop, he sells all sorts of retro games and modern games. He had an old Star Trek figure on the shelf, so I said to him, can I buy that off him? Actually, he very kindly gave it to me. We've been friends an incredibly long time, and so it's very kind of him to give this to me. It's not a figure I have, it's not even a very sort of popular Star Trek figure, but it's a sort of unique one. This is Vash from Star Trek The Next Generation. Strange looking figure, but I really like the list of accessories that it has on the side, because it comes here with galactic accessories, including a duffel bag. I'm not quite sure how space age a duffel bag is, but that's one of the accessories she comes with. So I do have to immediately say a massive thank you to Kimmy for very kindly giving this to me. This is going to go in my collection as just a nice memento of my sort of trip away, so thanks to Kimmy for that. Also, while we were in Germany, I thought it would be silly not to buy myself a Schleich Smurf, or Schlumpf as they are called in Germany, because Germany is the home of Smurf. So I've sort of had a quick hunt around and I found a little shop in a back alley. In fact, Mrs. Toy-polloi found it, and in there they didn't have a huge amount of Smurfs, but they had this sort of sleepy Smurf. So it's a Smurf holding a pillow, looking very tired, and I actually thought that was quite a nice little sort of sum up of the holiday, because I was incredibly tired for a lot of the time. So it's a nice little memento of the holiday. So I actually bought myself a Smurf in Germany. So this is a proper German Smurf. The other bits here are some donations and something else I've bought. The big box at the back is a donation. This box is a donation, but I'm not sure who it's from. And then this is something I've bought, but we have to keep it a little bit quiet because it's actually a birthday present for Mrs. Toy-polloi. So we'll open that one quietly. So let's open up the rest of these boxes and see what's inside them. We'll do this one first, but I am going to say it's one that we've got to keep a little bit quiet because this is a birthday present for Mrs. Toy-polloi. We were watching a programme recently about Mary Quant, and it turns out that Mary Quant actually made a doll in the sort of late 70s and early 80s, and Mrs. Toy-polloi saw it and thought it looked really cute. So I've tried to get one. They're actually really quite hard to come by and quite expensive. So what I've bought is one that needs a little bit of TLC. I'm hoping that I will be able to fix it up enough that I can give it to her for her birthday, which is a little bit away, maybe about a month away. So I'm hoping that this is fixable. If not, I'm going to have to call in some favours and see if I can get some people to help me fix it up, because I really would like to give Mrs. Toy-polloi a nice version of this Mary Quant doll. It's called the Daisy doll because the logo for Mary Quant is a little daisy. So hopefully this isn't as too bad looking. The auction listing, it didn't look too bad, but it's very hard to tell sometimes. And as I say, yeah, these are quite hard to come by. They seem to go for quite a lot of money. So this is a risk because I don't really know what I'm buying. I don't even know if I can fix it. So let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Do you know what? She's not in bad condition at all. That really doesn't look too bad at all. It needs a little bit of a wash. It's got a very strange sort of hair, the way the hair has been put in. But actually, that's really not in bad condition. I think I paid £25 for this, so it's a little bit more expensive than I'd sort of hoped to get pay for it. But it is for Mrs. Toy-polloi, so it's a worthwhile thing. It doesn't have any shoes. I'll have to see if I can find some shoes. But actually, that's not too bad at all. So I'm very happy with that. I'm going to keep this quiet. I'm going to hide this in my room because it's something I want to give to Mrs. Toy-polloi as a birthday present. So I'm just going to sort of see if I can tidy it up, give it a bit of a wash. But there we go. That is a Mary Quant Daisy doll from sort of late 70s, early 80s. This next box, I don't know who it's from. It doesn't have a name on it, but a few people have sort of offered to send things over to me. So I have a rough idea, I think, who it's going to be from, but we'll have to sort of wait and see. There is a little note here. So it says, "Hi Dave, enjoy, all the best Dan." Ah, right, I know exactly who this is from. So this is from Dano-matic on Instagram. I know exactly what it is. He messaged me saying that he'd been to a car boot sale and bought a few bits and bobs, and one of the things that he'd bought was this, which is a transformer. I think this is called Grapple. I think this is Grapple. So she said it was in remarkably good condition and he paid very little money for it. I think he said it's something like 50p, so it's an absolute bargain. I used to have this figure, and then I sort of sold off a big chunk of my collection, you know, maybe sort of 10-15 years ago, and this was one of the ones I sold off, and I sort of regretted it because it is quite a nice figure. So let me just transform it into robot mode if I remember how to do it. So that's, it should click in there, and then that rotates down. So there we go, this is Grapple. He's a really nice figure. I always like the colour of him. He's sort of vibrant, bright orange. He's one of the Transformers where the hands are missile, so the missile sort of hands are often missing, and he should come with a gun. But overall, he's in really nice condition. He's even got all of his tyres, although they're a little bit battered, but they can easily be sort of stuck back together. So thanks, Dan. That's very kind of you to send us over. I'm going to add this straight back into my collection because it is one that I regretted selling, because as I say, I really like the colour of him. He's a really sort of nice, vibrant sort of toy. So I think I just need a little bit of a clean up, and I'll see if I can find some hands for him. But even without hands, he's going to display it really nicely. This next box comes from Stuart, who got in touch with me via Twitter to say that he'd got a few Star Wars bits that he thought would be useful to me, and one thing I've not restored before. So that's what's in here, and let's just open it up and I'll show you what it is. It certainly does look like an interesting project, and it definitely is one that I've not covered before, but one lots of people have asked me for, so it could be a good potential project. Okay, well, I did a quick rearrange because I was running out of space, but you can see immediately there's a few good Star Wars pieces here. So let's take a look at the one in the front, which is the remains of a TIE Interceptor. There's one reasonable looking wing there, and then we've got another wing here, which is missing the outer sort of cover, but otherwise the rest of that looks pretty reasonable. And then we've got in here, this looks like the main body section. Again, actually not in too bad condition. It's missing the battery cover. There's quite a lot of corrosion going on in there. But otherwise, that's not too bad a sort of starting point for a TIE Interceptor. It even looks like the clips aren't broken on the inside there. I can just about see those. So yeah, there's a nice TIE Interceptor there. It's a good project. Then at the back we have, this is what Stuart was sort of chatting to me about. This is a Star Wars vinyl carry case. Now it isn't something I've had before. In fact, I've never actually even seen one of these in person. They are some nice cases, but they do tend to have, you know, problems with the vinyl, which gets a bit worn and a bit battered, and that's what a lot of people have asked me to sort of have a look into, and certainly it's something I've never done before. So I will definitely look into what can be done. You can see here all of the vinyl is split at the back. This has the internal, this has the internal sort of carry case pieces, so this has got all the stickers on it, and we can easily make some new stickers. They're all a bit sort of battered and worn and a bit broken, but overall it's actually in not too bad condition. Certainly going to be quite interesting to look into and see whether it can be repaired. I have no idea. There's sort of the cardboard pieces, I think I can repair the cardboard stuff, but the actual vinyl, I'm not too sure. But certainly a lot of research will need to be done because I don't really know whether that can be fixed. But it will be fun for me to have a look into anyway and see what can be done. There's also this bag here, which appears to be full of Star Wars figures. So let me rearrange my camera and we'll have a check out of those as well. So we've got a whole selection of Star Wars figures, a right mixture. We've got the Emperor, we've got Luke Jedi, we've got Chief Chirper, there's a pretty yellowed Snow Trooper, we've got Nien Nunb, we've got Klaatu, we've got Logray, we've got Pruneface, we've got a Rancor Keeper, we've got Darth Vader, and we've got Forlom or Zuckuss, depending on how you want to name him. So a whole mixture of sort of beta Star Wars figures, which I'm going to put straight in the carry case. So there we go, that was everything that was in the parcels I had to open today. Big thank you to Stuart and to Dan for sending those pieces in. The carry case certainly is going to be an intriguing one to look into. I'm not quite sure what to do with that, but I will certainly put that on my jobs to-do list because it's going to be the one that makes me think the most. And they're the projects that I like, ones where I have to sort of sit and think and try to work out how am I going to fix that one up. So that's a very fun project there. And the other stuff is always useful. All of these pieces will get used. And obviously the bits that I picked up on my travels, and the special little project there for Mrs. Toy-Polloi. So keep that one quiet because that will be a surprise birthday present for her. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you've really enjoyed it, head on over to my main channel Toy-Polloi and subscribe there as well. And thanks for watching.